Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Code. In this video, we are going to build a URL shortener. If you type a valid URL here and click on short URL, you can see we have a URL shortener. If we copy this and paste it here, you can see we are redirected to Excalibur. So let's build it. So URL shortener do the exactly same thing that its name says. The shorten the URL. It simply takes the long URLs like this and convert it into a shortened one like this one. HTTP, you can say localhost and slash abcd like this. So you can see there is a huge difference between all two URLs. This URL is long and this is a short. Basically, the use case of shorten URL is to share someone. If you share this a long URL, it's hard to share or hard to print somewhere. It's not useful for marketing, but the shorten URL you can share it to be the easier with anyone. And also the shortened URL is used for the link tracing. How many people click on your link, how many visit your page like that. So for building it, we do like this. We take a long string of URL and to that string we convert that into a shortened code like you can say HDVCMA like 6 character or 8 character whatever, and we append this shortened code to our base URL, which is like the HTTP localhost.com or the port number of 8000 or whatever that we have the domain name. So let's create it. First, create the UI of this. So for the UI, npx create new Vite, okay, Vite at latest. Project name is going to client using TypeScript, Tailwind CSS, and SetCN UI library. Let it install. Till then, go to the SetCN and here go to components and we have to import input component and button components. So let's import the input component. After installing the input and button, run the dev server. So npm run dev and go to client first in the src, delete the app.css. So delete it and also from the app.txx delete this one. Okay. And after that we have to install the React Router DOM. So npm I React Router DOM. So till then remove all this. Okay, remove this one and also this one. After it, browser router, and in the browser router routes, okay, and route is going to path and we have to create a pages in src. So create a folder pages. In the pages we have home.tsx and here RAFCE and make it capital home and home. Okay, and remove this one. After that, in the app.txx, in the element, import the home component. So from the pages, import the home component. Yeah. So you can see in the local host, okay, run the dev server and in the local host we have home component. Okay, so after that in the home.tsx we have to change something. uh, Actually we don't have to change anything. We have to import input component from setcn. So in the input, this is our input field, and make it smaller. So for that, class name is going to be with 50%. You can see, and make it center. So class name flex and also flex call, justify between, and actually justify center. Okay, and items center. Okay, and also make a margin top of like 5. Yes, and border is going to black, border black, so we can identify there is a input field, and make a placeholder to going to type your URL to be shortened. Okay, like this, and after it, okay, make a use state const URL and set URL. This one, import the user state here and make a value of URL, and on change event, and we have to set URL to event.target.value. Okay, so this one, yeah, and also we import one more input, and going to be same, and in the placeholder we type custom URL, and it's going to optional. So yeah, and actually make a gap here. So gap is going to like, yeah, 5. Make it 5. It's good. And after it, okay, make one more const custom URL, and here make its value. Value is going to custom URL, and on change is going to event, and it's set custom URL event.target.value. Yeah, and after it import the button here. So button from, okay, like this, button from the setcn UI components library, and the button is going to uh, make make URL or sort URL. Yeah, I think it's good. And after it, we have to create a new route with a slug. So route path dot slug, yeah, it's not going to home. It's going to a new page, like not found dot tsx. So here RAFCE make it not found component. Okay, and class name is same is going to flex call and the margin top from 5, make it like this. Okay, we have to change it. So it's going to not found. Okay, yeah. So flex call margin top 5 and justify center and also the items center. So make it on center, not found. Yeah, that's good. Make it your shortened URL is not found in our database. Okay, like this, and make it's going to be under H1. Yeah, and in the H1 make a class name with text is going to Excel, and after it make a button here. So button, import the button from the components library and go back. Yeah, so yeah, give a gap of 5 and it's good. Go back and import const navigate is equal to use navigate from the React router DOM and make it on click create a function. In the on click it navigate to slash. Okay, so make it go back and it's going to be slash. Yeah, it's good. After it, in the app, okay, in the home.tsx, after it we are going to create our server folder in the, and after creating the package.json file, we have to install npm i express.env and also the course, and that's it. So install it. We have to also install the mongoose. We are going to use our database MongoDB. So we have to install the mongoose. So let it install. Till then, create a new file in a server called index.js, and in the package.json, create here a start command with this and a dev command with nodebound index.js. npm run dev, and so const in the index.js const express is equal to require express, and const course is equal to require course, and const dot env is equal to require dot env. So first of all dot env dot config and const app is equal to express and app dot use course and also app dot use express dot json. After it app dot listen. So before the listen we have to create a port. So const port is equal to this one, yeah, and make it 8000. So app.listen on the port, and after it in the function server is running on whatever the port. So after running the server, first app.get with response dot send hello world. So we first try our server. It's running or not. Yeah, it's running. Response dot send hello world, and after it In the server, create a new folder called models. In the models, create a new file called URL model.js. Okay, and before any ma before making the URL model, we have to create a new file in server called connection.js. In the connection.js, we use const mongoose is equal to require mongoose. In the const mongo URI, we have the mongo URI which is going to take from mongo URI in the .env file. So let's create a .env file. So .env here it's and paste here, and our database name is going to like URL Shortener. Yeah, that's good name. And in the connection.js, after importing the Mongo URI from .env, we use mongoose.connect our Mongo URI, and if it connects, then it console the connected to MongoDB. And if not, if it's get any error, then console that error. So console.log error connecting to MongoDB, and that's error. Whatever the error it catches. So after it module dot exports mongoose, and in the index.js we have to require it. So require connection. I required it, but okay. So our MongoDB server is not running. So let me run the server. After running the MongoDB server, it's connected. So after it, in the URL model.js, const mongoose is equal to require mongoose, and here const URL schema is going to new mongoose dot schema, and here we have the long URL, long URL, and it's going to type of a string. Yeah, it's required. And after that we have short URL. Actually, we have short URL code, not the exact full URL. We have short URL code, long URL and short URL code. That's it. After it, const URL is equal to mongoose.model URL schema, and let it export. So module dot exports the URL, and yeah, that's it. In the server folder, create a new folder called routes, and here create a new file, make it URL route.js. Okay, and here const express. Okay, express is equal to require express, and const. Okay, const router is equal to express.router, and also import the URL model here. So const URL model is equal to require from models URL model, and that's it. Yeah. After it, first export the router. Yeah. After exporting it, first router dot post, and yeah, the shorten. We have to shorten the URL, and async request response. After it, so the const long URL, we get the URL from request dot body. Yeah. After getting the long URL, write a function for regex. So we check the URL is valid or not. So const is valid URL, and it's going to be a function, and it accepts a URL. And here we create a const URL regex. Here new regex, we use the regex to find the HTTP and HTTPS. So it has that, so it's going to be this one, and it has HTTPS or HTTP. So close it, and after it, it has the colon and also the double slash, and that's it. So for it, like this one, and after it, make it plus dollar sign and slash. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's good. And we have to return the URL regex dot test and the URL, whatever the URL we got from here. We check is the URL is valid or not. So if URL is not valid, it's not valid. So we return a response.json, and JSON is message, and message has like not a valid URL. Okay, actually not a valid base URL. Okay, after it, if the URL is valid, so for that we create a try catch block in the catch console.log. Okay, console.log the error, and after it we also return a response dot with a status code of 500, and it's going to be a JSON, and the JSON is like this one, and it's going to be in the message form. Yeah, that's it. In the try block, we use our database. We use some functions to shorten the URL, and also use the database to save and fetch the URL. So const URL, okay, already URL exists is equal to URL model dot find one. Why? The long URL. So yeah, the long URL. And yeah, if already exists, then return response.json, and this is going to be like yeah, whatever it has to sort URL is going to be like this. Already exists dot we what we have in the models, we have sort URL code. So sort URL code. Okay, it's not going to be like this. So we send it like okay, in the .env create a client URL, and here it's going to HTTP localhost 5173. Yeah. So in the index URL route we have okay process dot env dot client URL and slash where the already exists URL. Okay, so for that it's going to dollar sign this one and this one already exists dot sort URL code. Okay, and after it, if it if the already URL exists, then it returns this. We have to write a function. So for that, const generate sort code, and it's going to be a function, and here, okay, we accept the long URL. So here const hash is equal to crypto dot, we have to hash it. So crypto dot create hash, and the algorithm is SHA 256. Update the long URL, whatever we got the long URL, dot digest it into base 64. Yeah, that's it. And after it, we have to shorten it. It's a base 64 string right now. So we have to shorten it. Okay, so for the shorten, we can do like a return hash dot replace, and we have to replace all not alphanumeric, and dot substring is going to be 0 to 8. Yeah, we need a 8 character long the short code. So for that we generated a code for at 8 character long. So after it, if the short URL is not present, in that case we use const code is equal to generate short code, and it accepts the long URL. Okay, after it, when it's generated the short code, so we are going to make a const new URL, const URL is equal to new. Okay, this one is URL model. So URL model, and it's going to, in the long URL, it's the long URL. In the short URL code, it's going to the code. We have the code. Okay. So let it async and make it await, and also after that await URL dot save. Okay, and if after the saving the URL, return the response dot JSON with a message is going to like this, whatever it has, same to same, but with, okay, process the client URL, and we have here the code. Okay, like this. And yeah, it's great. Our the shorten URL is created, and for that, yeah, it's great. Our shorten URL is created. So in the index.js app.use, and it's going to be slash and require from the, okay, from the routes, and its URL route. So yeah, our API is ready for the use. So here const response is equal to fetch. We have HTTP localhost 8000 and the shorten endpoint is shorten, uh, like this. Yeah, it's right. And after it, in the headers, uh, we give the accept type, accept the application and JSON. Okay, application JSON. And after it, in the body, okay, in the body, we JSON, this one, JSON dot stringify, we have a URL. So long URL. We want the long URL. So it's going to be URL. Yeah, like this. And after it, okay, so I have to create a function for that. Copy it and const shorten const handle shorten URL is equal to, it's going to be a sync, and here this one, and await it, await. After it, const data is equal to await response dot JSON. Yeah, and then we have the data. So for that, okay, we can create a const uh, sort URL and set sort URL is going to be use state. It's a string and it's going to be by default empty string. So in the set sort URL is going to our data dot we have how we send. So data dot sort URL. So actually the we are sending the sort URL. So data dot sort URL. Okay. And we also console here console dot log data. So let's check it out in the here on click. So whatever the handle shorten URL. Okay, we have to execute this function. So now it's going to happen. So sort URL, uh, again nothing happened. Type error failed to execute fetch on window. Request we get head. Okay. So we have to decide the method here. So method is get. Okay, method is post. Sorry, method is post. And let's try it now. Go to network tab and sort URL. Yeah, it's sorted, and we have a preview. We have the sort URL of undefined. Okay, we got the undefined from the sort URL. Why? In the URL route, this is the code, generate short code long URL. It returns a big object and basically a promise, I think so. I have to await it here. Okay, we have to make it content type and make it a small application JSON. So let's try it, sort URL, and yeah, you can see we have a call with the URL, and yeah, that's it, long URL and the short URL. So in the front end we have to So the shorten URL. So in the home.tsx, uh, below the button, create create a paragraph, and here sort URL. Yeah, that's it. This is the URL, and after it, yeah, that's great. And we have to create one more thing for that. That is our custom URL. If I want to a custom thing, our HTTP localhost 5173, it's going to be our base URL. And after the code, whatever code it has, it's going to be in the custom URL. So let's fix it also. So in the home .tsx, let's set a custom, and it's going to be custom URL. So in the URL route, we fetch custom also from the request.body, and after it already exists, if already exists, then return this. Okay, if already exists, then return this one. Otherwise, if it has the custom, then it has to do something like const new URL is equal to new URL model, and it's going to be the long URL, and the short URL code is going to be custom. Okay, that's great. After it, we have to make it await and URL dot save. Save that. After saving that, return it. Return response dot JSON, and going to be this one, like, okay, this one. But we have the client URL, and here we don't need the code or the already URL exists. We need the custom. Whatever user sends that the custom URL, that the custom URL. So let's check it out also. Okay, let's create anything here. It's going to be like random thing, and the NVVLOA, it's our custom URL code. So sort URL, and you can see we have the NVLOA. Our shorten URL code is working now. So after it, we have to create a getting the code route. So for that, router dot get, and it's going to be slug the code, and here it async request and response, and from const code, okay, code from request dot params, like this, yeah. And if not, and try catch block, in the try catch block, console dot log error getting the URL, and also send it. So return response dot status is going to 500, and JSON with a message of same thing, error getting the URL. Yeah, and here in the try block, we create a, we check the code if the code is already present or not. So for that, const so URL model dot find one, y in the URL model, we have shorten URL code. Find one from this one, shorten URL code, and shorten URL code is going to be code. Okay, if each code, then return response dot redirect, and we have to redirect it to here. This is our the redirection. So okay, here like this, the client URL and slash the code, and not the code, we have to redirect it to, okay, I'm going to, we have to redirect it to uh, like this, and each code dot long URL like this. Yeah, we have to redirect it to the long URL, whatever it has. So yeah, that's it. And if the code is not present, then we send a message like const, okay, return it, simply return it, return response dot JSON with message is going to be like uh, code, we said something here in the not found. So your shortened URL is not found in our database. So just return it. Your shortened URL is not found in our database. Okay, that's it. Or the we have to change the name like code.txt or something like that. So for now it's great. The not found. Here we have to create a huge effect. In the huge effect, it's going to, okay, like this. Okay, const fetch data is equal to a sync, and yeah, it's going to be const response is equal to fetch data from the HTTP localhost 8000 slash, not the fetch data, it's fetch slash, okay, it's a backtick here, and slash is going to, we have to find that code from the URL. So const code is equal to use params dot, okay, let's console it first, console dot log, okay, console dot log the code, and okay, what it is like this. So go to console, and like this we have slug, and under the slug we have jd, not the code, we have slug. So slug, we have slug, and it's going to be method is get, and also the headers is the same I sent there, that is content type, and it's going to application slash JSON. Yeah, that's it, I think. Okay, here fetch data, we have to call it, and okay. await data is equal to response.json. Okay, that's const data is equal to await response.json and console.log the data. Try it again. This one we got an error for that. So it's course error. So for that, in the not found.tsx, we add a modes and here choose the no course. In the mode no course and also we have to do like console.data await res. So we have to do it like if response dot redirected, then window dot location, okay, location dot href is equal to response dot url. Okay, that's it. If otherwise else, we have a const data is equal to await response dot json. Okay, and console that into here. So let's try it now. This is our, okay, I think it didn't get any error, but not redirected. So in the network tab, yeah, it didn't get any error, not redirected. So what we have to do? So it's not redirecting from the backend, so we have to handle it from the front end. So for that, in the URL route, so rest dot redirect, we have to rest dot json, and it has URL dot each code dot long URL in the JSON. Okay, so in the front end found dot tsx, if okay, so const data is equal to await response dot json, and if data dot url, so yeah, data dot url, and if there is no data dot url, then simply console it for now. And yeah, let's try it. Okay, so we need to remove the mode course, and now it's going to work. So yeah, it worked, you can see. So go to localhost and the code is, we have, okay, this code. So you can see slash and enter, and you can see it directed to the YouTube. Okay, so now our project is completely working and it's good. If we type anything here and go to inspect and network, it's not going to sort that URL. So sort URL, you can see we have a message that not a valid base URL. So you can show the error here in the UI, and if we use a valid URL like this one, it it has the HTTPS or HTTP. Then sort the URL, and URL is shorten. You can copy this and send to anyone, And if you like to contribute anything in this project, then go to the GitHub repo. GitHub link is in the description and also flashing on the screen of my GitHub profile. And also follow me on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. Links in the description and also flashing on the screen. Subscribe my channel, like this video, and share this video. Thanks.